Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday the 15th. This is Craft Our Paper Stash Cards with Stmpgrl, Stmpgrl, who is Paige. Most of you who watch me know her already. But if not, please do go check her out, and I'll put the link below. A few other people usually play along with us. Linda Kaufman comes to mind, and I'll see if there's others also that are playing along. Anyway, but we're the two official people in the collab, if you will. So Craft Our Paper Stash Cards, and you can use any of your paper stash. Doesn't have to be like the same paper pad every month or whatever. So this month, I was on a mission to accomplish two things. I needed some cards for Stampin' Up's OnStage event, which is happening on the 16th. So by the time you're seeing this, I will probably be getting ready to, or will have left for my drive to Connecticut, where this particular local OnStage is going to be. The main one is in Germany, and boy, I wish I could have gone to that, but yeah, no, can't. Anyway, that's on my bucket list, to get to Germany and Europe. I've never been to Europe. I've been to Asia, parts of Asia, and the Philippines and stuff like that, but I've never been to Europe or the UK even. So anyway, I digress. So that was one of my things, and then the other thing is I've been wanting to follow Call Me Crafty Alicia. She has the Sheetload of Cards. So I made 8 cards using the October one and 8 cards using the November one. I have 16 cards here to show you. I'm really going to show you just 1 or 2 of each, because then they're pretty much all the same. The first one I'm just going to show you the one from October, and then the second one I will show you 2, because I'll show you that there's only 2 designs with that one, where October's, well, I'll talk you through it when I show you. So anyway, where Alicia gives you the papers that you need, how many cards it yields with this layout, if you want to make just 1 card, what you would need, some alternatives. Actually, I wrote some other ones, I crossed them off because I put them on the wrong one, but I have a couple other ideas myself for the November one. And then I print it back to back, so on the back she shows you the card bases you need. Now, she doesn't tell you how to do those. It pretty much assumes you know how to make A2 size card bases. She shows you a picture. So for example, this one is a regular A2 size card, but then you fold you have to score and fold the front back in half on itself. And on this one, it's a vertical card. So you cut the sheet on the 11-inch side. You cut it at 4 1/4 and then score at 5 1/2, and that gives you. And you need 4 sheets of cardstock to make 8 A2 card bases. Okay, same with this. You need 4 sheets of whatever cardstock you're going to use, and you can vary it if you want to. I stuck with Thick Whisper White by Stampin' Up. All the products here are going to be Stampin' Up, because this is for a Stampin' Up convention, so just so you know. Alright, so let me go back to this one. This is the first one we're going to use. It's the October. And for this one, I chose to use the, sorry for the glare, I'm going to turn that off actually temporarily. It's going to be a little, no, I had to put it on at least 1. Let me see if I can. We're either going to have shadows or glare. I can't help it at this point. So I chose to use the Ballad suite of papers. Part of my issue was, because I've used so many of these in the past, these had to be also, well, they were recommended to be from the annual catalog, because, you know, we're in November. The holiday catalog only goes through the 2nd of January, and then it's done. So to give these out as swap cards, they want them for ideas, and so they need to be able to get the products from the annual catalog. And honestly, I am almost out of this bird ballad. Let's see if I put it away or not. No. I mean, this is what I have left. It is scraps, literally. And I cut one of the pieces of paper just slightly wrong. Well, luckily I had two big enough scraps. So mine isn't exactly how she did hers, but I was out of paper. She said you do need 4 12 by 12 pattern papers. Well, actually, I only had 2 full size of the pattern papers, and then I had some large, like half size scraps. So that's, I made it work. I also, if you notice on the image, she does have cardstock and then designer paper and then an oval here. Well, on all of them, I used Pool Party cardstock for this, and then also for this. And what I did is I cut these out. These are using the 2 largest Stitch Shapes ovals, I'm sorry, Stitch Shapes dies, which has squares, ovals, and circles. And I used the 2 largest ovals in that. And then I ran this oval through the subtle embossing folder, and hindsight's 2020. I should have run this card through it also, but I really didn't want to because it sort of makes the card feel thinner to me, and I didn't want it thinner because I guess maybe because it smushes it down more or something. I don't know. I didn't want it to be because it's sort of open on the back, if you know what I mean. I hope that makes sense. I also used the ribbon that goes with that set, and it is missing. Maybe this is it. No, here it is. It is called the Organdy Striped Ribbon, and it's in Petal Pink, which is one of the colors in the paper. So the colors in the paper are Daffodil Delight, Pool Party, Calypso Coral, Old Olive, and Petal Pink. And this is the Petal Pink. Now, okay, the stamp sets that I used. For this little hello, I used the Free as a Bird, but that's the only thing I used out of there. And then for the sentiment on the inside, I used It's a Beautiful Day. Yes. Okay, out of Love What You Do. I love this stamp set. I have used it before. And I also, these flowers are from here. I was originally going to use this little bird, but he actually didn't fit all the way on this oval. It's a little too skinny. And then I thought, well, I need some flowers or something on the front. So I chose this one because I thought they looked the most like the flowers in the stamp set. If they were to open up wide, they'd look sort of like that. And that was my thinking anyway. So that's what I did. Now some of them are colored in Daffodil Delight. I used my blends. I stamped them all with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I used my blends, the duos, Light and Dark, Daffodil Delight. 2 of them are in Calypso Coral, Light and Dark, and one or two of them are in Pool Party, Light and Dark, which is one of my fave colors because it's so versatile for sky and whatnot. So these little hellos were stamped with Memento Tuxedo Black, and they were stamped on scraps of Whisper White that I keep a little. When I cut strips and things off, I keep them in a little bag in my scrap bin. That's a new thing I started doing, especially for the white and Very Vanilla, so I can easily find scraps. Yes, I have lots of scraps of Very Vanilla, Whisper White. And I don't have quite as many of Very Vanilla, but I do have them. Anyway, so it opens like this. And this one, the birds were going sideways, so I put it inside because the back, I think, it might be the same as this. I can't remember. So this one has feathers, and they're all going to be just a little bit different. So I'm not going to, I'll show them all to you through the bags they're in, but that's all. So that is the first one. That's how I did them. If I was going to do this again, I would probably use a piece of the Pool Party around the inner mat, which I should have done. And I might even be inclined to put another mat on each of these pieces, like a solid card base behind it. But I didn't want to get it too thick because I had to put, I put my business card and I of course put my stamped with love, made with love on the back. And I just used Memento Tuxedo Black on all of these cards for that. So let me show you the other ones, because they're all similar but slightly different. I'm not going to open them to show you the inside. This one is almost the same, except the birds on the branches are in the front, and then this is here instead. This is the back of, I think, the feather sheet. I'm not positive about that. And then this one is similar to that one. I think the insides on them are a little different. Here I've got the feathers on the front, and this piece in the back, the stripe again in the front. This is in Calypso Coral now. Same with this one. Those two are the same, I think. This one's the same as this one, but it might be a little different on the inside. This one is the only paper time I used the keys, and that was only because I think this might be the same as this on the back, and I didn't want the same paper. So here you've got the flowers. I think those flowers look all right with these flowers. And then the stripe, and I can't remember what the inside flap is. Okay, so I only have one done in Pool Party. I think that was the first one I did. And so here it's got that dotted on the front, but with the flowers and then the feathers in the background. And I believe the stripe or something's on the inside. So they're all slightly different, but the same, if you will. I think that makes same style, same papers, just different different ones. So that is the first 8 cards I made. And then that was with the October 2009 Sheetload of Cards. And then on the November, I went a little different. Well, I was out of this paper, so I went looking through my paper for what do I have that would look good together, that I have enough paper of. So I first pulled out Mosaic Mood, but I didn't have 2 sheets that I thought looked great together, or that wouldn't be overpowering together or something. Anyway, I pulled out See a Silhouette Designer Series paper, which is really bold and bright, right? And the 2 sheets I pulled were exactly the same. I had 2 sheets of the same, and one side has this and the other side has this. So yeah, we went pretty big and bold. So then I thought I need to find sentiments and stuff to go with those big and bold, right? So I pulled out these 2 stamp sets, and I ended up with this on the front. I made you a card because you're worth it. And I used this sentiment on the inside from Enjoy Life. This is in the annual, and it's been there. This is the 2nd year, I think. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. So they're worth it, and a reminder to just enjoy life, right? So let me show you 2 of the cards. Here they are. So 4 of them are with this side of the paper with this on the front, and 4 of them are with the other side with this on the front. They all have flags. I think only one of them is going, this I think might be the only one going that way, just because it's ended up how I cut it. And also the reason I picked these 2 is because this one here uses the Noble Peacock rhinestones, because it has blueberry bushel, and I thought I had another pack of these, but I don't. So I must have done a giveaway or something, so I need to get another one of those because I really like these colors. And I really like blueberry bushel, but if you want blueberry bushel, which is also this ink color, get it before next June, or as soon as you can, because by next June it'll be a retiring color. It's in the 2018 to 20 in colors, along with Call Me Clover. I can't read that. Hang on. Pineapple Punch, Grapefruit Grove, and Lovely Lipstick, which is another pretty color. Okay, So I just put 2 blings here and 1 somewhere on the card. Now these, I do not have any Blackberry Bliss, which is the color I used in the background. It's dark purple. Let me show you the inside. You can maybe see that better. This is Blackberry Bliss cardstock. It's a real deep purple. Here's the ink pad. Okay. But I don't have any rhinestones like that, so I took my clear ones and my dark Blackberry Bliss Stampin' Blend, and I colored a bunch of them in Blackberry Bliss because I didn't have enough to do more than 1 card more of Blueberry Bushel. So I just used the marker and colored all the Blackberry Blisses I needed for 3 of them. And there's the inside. Now this, when you cut your paper, you end up with your designer paper. Oops, flipped it the wrong way. You end up with a strip here and a tiny little strip here. So I had 2 skinny strips and I cut them to 5.0 actually. And I had a little tiny piece left over to go on this white paper. This white is 5 by 3.75 inches, and the Blackberry Bliss in here is 5.25 by 4 across. Okay, same as the matte on the designer paper. So you do need, to get 8 of these, you do need 2 sheets of Blackberry Bliss. And to get this, you need 2 sheets of regular Whisper White. This is thick Whisper White again. And this ink I used is Blueberry Bushel on the outside, on the inside, I mean, on all the cards. Most of the cards, well, I think 2 of them I stamped in Blueberry Bushel, and that's the color gems I used. And all the rest I think I stamped in, oh no, here's another one. So I have half stamped in Blueberry Bushel and half stamped in Blackberry Bliss. So the ones that are this design are stamped in Blackberry Bliss, and the ones that are this design I stamped in Blueberry Bushel. That's what it was. Temporary lapse in memory. So yeah, those are my cards. They're a little different, but I like them. Last night I made these in the evening, and then I didn't get the insides done. It was getting late and I was getting tired and stuff. Anyway, I felt like I needed something else up here, but when I came up to look at them this morning, I decided to leave them alone because that would change the design of the cards, and I didn't want to do that because I'm trying to hand out 8 of the same kinds of cards. Actually, I might only hand out 6 each and keep 1 for me as to remember. And then also they have what they call a display board. I think they have a different name for it, but it's a display board, so each demonstrator can put one of their cards up on the display board so other people can see it and I guess go looking for you to get one of the ones they like or something. I don't know. I've never been there, so I'm not sure. Alright, so that's it. And these cello bags that I have these in, I actually, Stampin' Up sells clear envelopes, and I should have gotten those, and I didn't order them. But I did recently haul these cellophane bags, 6" by 8". So all I did is I put the cards in sideways, and then I flapped it over and taped it. So I think that'll be alright. I did not, however, put envelopes in, and I don't know if I'm going to, actually, because it's the cards they're after for design, not the envelopes. So anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you, Alicia, for taking the time to do these. I think I did okay on this one. I learned a lesson, but on this one, something I didn't do right. I forget when I first cut. Oh, on one of these, I think it was this one. I don't know why no, it was this one actually. That's why I ended up with one less sheet of paper on the first batch. I was reading this thinking this had to be 1 7/8, and I initially cut that off at 1 7/8 when I should have only cut off 1 1/2, because then I didn't have 2 at 5.25. So my bad. That note was in that area, and I, without clearly looking at it, so now I kind of do a bracketed thing where the pieces are, you know, so I know that this is 10 1/2, this is 1 1/2 inches, and I can go ahead and cut the 1 1/2 inches off. And then I did the same thing over on these, so I would cut them right too. And it worked out beautifully once I knew what I was doing. So first time I've used these are great, and I appreciate you doing it. And thank you all for coming to our collab, Craft Our Paper Stash cards. So I still have quite a bit of See a Silhouette paper left, but I don't have much left of those 2 sheets for sure. I used all but a couple. There's another little strip in here, but mostly these 2 strips of that. And like I said, the bird ballad, this is what I have left. It's all scrap. I mean, it's some of it is bigger scrap, but it's all scrap. So I'm trying to work through, because I am sure that the Occasions catalog and Celebration brochure are going to have more designer papers that I would love to have. Although I really am thinking of getting another bird ballad one. We'll see. Thanks for watching, guys. Hugs, love, and peace. Have a great weekend if I don't get to talk to you before then. Bye for now.